You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall. Ever since quarterback Jaden Daniels was drafted by the Washington Commanders, the organization has been in search of a legitimate number 2 receiver to go along with Terry McLaurin. And the team may have finally found one in Stefon Diggs. All right, Sport Director Derek Forrest, he joins us. And Derek, obviously, the Commanders making a big splash and picking up Diggs to ideally help the passing game.
Yeah, certainly. It's a big move, Mark, for the Washington Commanders. And when you have a franchise quarterback and a guy like Jaden Daniels, it's important to surround him with as many pieces to succeed as possible, especially when he's on his rookie contract, because he's super affordable. So Wednesday, the Commanders may have found themselves their final offensive weapon. DC News Now has confirmed Stefon Diggs has signed a 1-year deal to join this roster. You're now looking at video from about an hour ago. He was at the University of Maryland hanging out at their practice because he graduated from the University of Maryland. They're having their media day today. Now, the deal is worth $12 million and is mentioned could be the final piece to the puzzle for this offense. This offseason, the Commanders drafted a receiver in the 3rd round in Antonio Williams, brought in a pass-catching running back in Rashad White, and a pass-catching tight end in Chigun Okonkwo. And while we thought for a while the other receiver the team was going to bring in was Brandon Ayuk, it's Stefon Diggs who gets the call. Diggs is a 4-time Pro Bowler, a first-team All-Pro, has 7 1,000-yard seasons, including catching 1,013 yards and 4 touchdowns last season with the New England Patriots team, who went to the Super Bowl. So this is a really big move for the Washington Commanders. They needed that number 2. Not that we're going to classify 2-3, but someone opposite Terry McLaurin. And if Stefon Diggs is healthy like he has been in past seasons, this could be a major move for the offense.
I mean, there's no question about it, Derek. He's a big-time player. Some would say that he's been in the headlines in recent years off the field, but maybe this 1-year deal is not a risk for the Commanders, and then if he performs, obviously bring him back and maybe sign him long term. Yeah,
100%. It's $11 million. They had like $40 million under the cap going into the season, so they've got plenty of money to spend. You mentioned some of the off-the-field stuff, but it never really affected the on-the-field, right? And especially coming off of all the Brandon Ayuk stuff, which is a lot off of the field right now. All Stefon Diggs has done off-season has posted videos of him working out, and he's stayed quiet, and he's ready to join an NFL team, and now it's going to be the Washington Commanders.
Derek Forrest, this just in, he moves the chains, right? And that's what you got to do. You got to move the chains.
Yeah. It's been a while since the Commanders had 2,000-yard receivers. You'd have to probably go back to the 80s for that.
I remember those days well.
Oh, I know. So with Terry McLaurin on one side, Stefon Diggs on the other, and all the other weapons they've gotten on the during the offseason, this could be a huge move for the offense, for sure.
Sports Director Derek Forrest, thank you so very much. Well, changes are coming to horse racing's Triple Crown. Maryland's Preakness Stakes is set to shift 8 days later, and that is typical mid-May run in Baltimore. Maryland Governor Wes Moore made the announcement today. The race will also now be run on the Sunday for the very first time starting in 2027. The hope behind the shift, more horses and trainers from the Kentucky Derby choosing to compete in the Preakness over the Belmont Stakes. And it also allows for an extra week of promotion after the Kentucky Derby. The home of the Preakness, Pimlico Racecourse, is undergoing a massive $500 million renovation, expected to be finished in 2028. The announcement comes just days after a new championship series of races were announced, not including the Preakness. A governor doubling down, saying that the Preakness will stay part of the Triple Crown.
Preakness can and will remain the second jewel of the Triple Crown, and nothing will change that. If you want to win the Triple Crown, we'll see you in Baltimore.
Well, starting in 2028, the Preakness Stakes will line up with Memorial Day weekend. Leaders really are hoping that the race and the long weekend will bring more tourism dollars to the state. All right, well, let's head over to meteorologist Damon Madsen with a first look at our forecast. Damon, how's it looking outside? I saw the 7-day at noon with meteorologist Scott Sumner. I saw a lot of 9s.
Well, yeah, we're going to have that summer heat, Mark, for sure. The other part of this whole thing is that the rainfall isn't going to be going anywhere. We're going to keep that in the mix. Now, it's not going to be raining the entire time, but as we saw today, we could certainly start with plenty of rainfall and then transition to drier weather. Look at this. Those rainfall totals from some of those heavier downpours early this morning, it really did add up quickly. We have these pockets in the greens, the yellows of close to an inch and a half just south and east of D.C. up into parts of northern Virginia, north central Maryland. Those downpours certainly made for a bit of a headache this morning, but thankfully we didn't see any major flooding problems out of all of that. And as we go into this late afternoon, early evening, well, we still do have some rain working across parts of Maryland. Now, most of the rain is out of the district, but yeah, overall, we're still seeing a little bit of that wet weather, just not as much as earlier today, and we're not really seeing as many of those heavy downpours either. Now, we'll continue to keep some scattered rainfall, perhaps a few rumbles of thunder in the forecast as we go at least into the early evening. I'm talking up to 7 p.m. But then after that, we should catch a total break from the wet weather heading into the night before, well, we rinse and repeat and start this process all over again on Thursday. So when and where could there be some heavier downpours tomorrow? And are we going to keep it this humid and this stormy, if you will, heading into the upcoming weekend? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. A Virginia man has been identified as the victim of a deadly crash in Germantown involving a stolen car. Police say 58-year-old William Payne II was killed Tuesday morning when a stolen Kia Optima slammed into a Toyota at Clopper Road and Great Seneca Highway. We're learning today that Payne worked at the National Institute of Standards and Technology for 29 years, including being a mechanical engineer. As for the investigation, they say that the Kia was being driven by a 13-year-old with 6 other kids in the car ranging from the age of 12 to 15 years of age. The driver was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The crash remains under investigation. Maryland's Attorney General has identified the man and the police officer involved in last week's deadly officer-involved shooting in Fort Washington Park. Investigators say that 30-year-old Alex Charles was shot and killed after police responded to reports of a man with a gun near the river. Police said that the handgun was recovered at the scene. The police officer has been identified as Corporal Anthony Delosier, a 15-year veteran of the department. The Independent Investigations Division says that the case remains under investigation. More than 40 people are displaced after a fast-moving fire tore through a southeast D.C. apartment building. Firefighters were called Tuesday afternoon to E Street, where flames could be seen shooting from the roof. No residents were hurt. One firefighter suffered minor injuries. The Red Cross is now helping about 11 families with financial assistance, emotional support, and other recovery resources after the fire. The cause is still under investigation. Well, Virginia health officials have reported the first ever case of dengue fever, acquired locally in the Commonwealth. Now the Fairfax and Loudoun County health departments are investigating. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg. He joins us live in Fairfax. And Daniel, most people with dengue get it internationally. What happened here?
Well, Mark, a local man was traveling internationally. He got dengue fever from a mosquito abroad, and he brought it back home in his body. Well, when he got here, there was a tiger mosquito that bit him and then bit another person who was caring for him. So that mosquito transmitting that disease between those two. Now, dengue fever has many symptoms, including fever with pain, headache, joint or muscle pain, or fatigue. Most people are either asymptomatic or have a very mild infection, but around 5% may develop severe illness. In Virginia, there are now 5 cases this year, including the one local transmission. Dengue is common in the Americas, Africa, the Middle East, Asia, and the Pacific Islands. In the case of these 2 people locally, one lives in Fairfax and the other in Loudoun County, so both health departments are working with the Virginia Department of Health. Dr. Benjamin Schwartz, Director of Epidemiology with the Fairfax County Health Department, recommends taking precautions to avoid any mosquito bites to prevent other diseases.
They breed in containers that hold water, maybe even as small as a bottle cap. And so check around your house, look for these containers. They may be gardening equipment, tarps, toys that the kids left outside, and turn them over, tip and toss.
Now, the health department says there is no evidence of ongoing transmission, and the risk of getting dengue here in Virginia is very low, but still it's important to take precautions. We're live in Fairfax. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
All right, Daniel, thank you. In the district, the DC Public Library System stepping up enforcement downtown, putting new barriers in place to prevent people from sleeping outside the MLK Library. Now, this comes after complaints of urination, defecation, violence, and a whole lot more. DC News Now's Marielle Carbone live downtown. Marielle, is this a new policy?
No, Mark, it's not. There have been policies prohibiting people from sleeping out here, laying out here for more than a decade, but it's not always enforced. These new complaints and what the library system says is causing a barrier to actually accessing the library has changed all of this. Now, new signage, the black rope barriers down the middle of the sidewalk are now in place with library police stationed out here overnight. According to a library spokesperson, complaints of intimidation, urination, defecation, and more have made the library unwelcoming. So officials are now enforcing a policy that prohibits being on library property after hours, lying down, sitting on the floor, or making a mess. Library police began the 90-day pilot program on July 6th, first with verbal warnings, then on July 20th, refusal to leave led to bar notices, and then starting August 3rd, those who refused to leave after being warned and barred could be arrested. The program leading to some pushback.
This is the only thing keeping them out of the bubble. It's raining right now. Everybody out there is going to be out in that tonight. Every one of them.
The library is a lifeline for everyone. It's one of the last places in our society where you can go without having to pay money to exist.
And a library spokesperson tells me that since this pilot started, there have been no issues with non-compliance. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Marielle, thank you. DC News Now is your local election headquarters with nominees selected. All eyes are on the November midterm elections in Virginia. On Tuesday, Burt Misusawa won the Republican Senate primary to face off against incumbent Mark Warner. Plus, nominees were selected in several competitive House races. Virginia Capitol Bureau reporter Tyler Englander breaks down Tuesday's results and what they mean moving forward.
With primary day now in the rearview mirror, Randolph-Macon political science professor Rich Marr says things went exactly as expected. Marr saying all the frontrunners won, setting up big battles in November. In Virginia's U.S. Senate race, Marr thinks despite his win in Tuesday's Republican primary, retired Army Major General Burt Misusawa remains a heavy underdog against incumbent Democratic Senator Mark Warner. Meanwhile, Marr says primary night set up a handful of heavyweight House races in Virginia, including Democratic Henrico County Commonwealth's Attorney Shannon Taylor facing off against incumbent Republican Congressman Rob Whitman in Virginia's 1st Congressional District, and former Democratic Congresswoman Elaine Luria battling incumbent Republican Congresswoman Jen Kiggins in the 2nd Congressional District.
I think the overall environment here is favorable towards Democrats. In part just because of how the economy's doing. And the economy's mixed right now, right? There's good news in the stock market, but I think people are really feeling the pinch of inflation, prices at the gas pump, and they do blame the Trump administration and Donald Trump himself for that, and they blame the Republicans.
Early voting for the midterm elections begins on September 18th.
All right, thanks to Tyler Englander. And for more local race results in the area, the Arlington County Board Democrat incumbent Matthew Dave Ferranti has won, winning 55% of the votes. He's the current chair of the board and has raised $70,000 in July. And for all the results in the election, you can visit our website, dcnewsnow.com.